Hello, welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics as if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of a mom. We've reached the time of the year where we got to make some holiday dishes. So whether you're going to the event and you're bringing a dish, or you're hosting and you're making all the dishes, we're going to make a bunch of holiday dishes, and this one is so easy. It's my holiday dish. You can really use any dish you want, and this recipe is easily double, tripled, whatever. So step one is you're going to put an entire stick of butter. If you're using the Kerrygold, it's a half because they're double sticks, and you're going to melt that butter down in the microwave, and then you want to let it cool before we use it. Then we're going to use our butter wrapper from our nice soft butter that we left out, and we're going to butter up our dish. Okay, I might have to add a little butter, we'll see, but you just want to butter all the sides and the corners and the crevices of your dish. Now if you don't have a butter wrapper to use, you can use your hands. Obviously you're going to get your hands dirty, or I sometimes will use like a sandwich bag, like a Ziploc bag, and put your hand in there, and that way you don't get the butter grease all over your hands. You can dip it in the butter and butter your dish. Did I tell you what we're making? We're making corn casserole. So first things first, we're melting our butter because we want it to cool. Then we buttered our dish. Fantastic. Now we're gonna put 1 can of whole kernel regular corn, and I'm gonna drain the can of the water. So we're gonna put our can of corn in our bowl. Now we're gonna open our creamed corn. So this is cream style corn. Now cream style corn has, like, you know, a sauce. So we don't drain this one. We want to put it directly into our bowl because we want all of that sauce. Okay, so this one we don't strain. We just put it right in. I love a tiny spatula because it's just so good for jobs like this, like cleaning out a can, getting all the rest of the goodies out. Don't be like me. I have to dirty a second bowl because I forgot to start with my eggs. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know what? No matter how many times you've made a dish, sometimes you forget things. So you actually should start with 2 eggs in a bowl. Wash your hands after handling the eggs. Then you're gonna whisk the eggs up to break them up. So use a whisk, or if you don't have a whisk, use a fork, but really get them nice and whisked up, and make sure that that stick of butter that you melted is not too hot because you don't want to make scrambled eggs. If you put it too hot in your eggs, it'll make scrambled eggs. And you can drizzle it in slowly. That will also help. Like if your eggs are really cold, that'll help. Just want to make sure you don't cook your eggs at this stage. Now normally you would just add your corn, but because I screwed up, I have to put this into this bowl and combine them together. But it's fine. We fixed it. It's no big deal. Everything's gonna be okay. Big spatch, stir to combine. Lovely. Now we're gonna add 8 ounces of sour cream. You can just buy an 8-ounce container of sour cream. I don't have that. I have a squirty, and so I'm just gonna use the measuring cup that I did the butter in. I'm gonna do 8 ounces. It's rough, like, don't worry. If this is not perfect, a little extra sour cream here, a little extra butter there, never hurt anybody. Okay, so I'm gonna push it down to see a little more sour cream. I think not quite 8 ounces. We're gonna add our 8 ounces of sour cream. So we've got our cream corn, we've got our regular corn, we've got our butter, we've got our eggs. Now we're adding 8 ounces of sour cream. Again, we're gonna use a spatch to try to get as much out of there as we can. Last addition to the party, that good old Jiffy corn muffin mix. Delish. Add that, 1 box of that to the party. If people are gonna ask me, if I don't have Jiffy cornbread mix, what do I substitute? I have no idea. I have only ever made this with the Jiffy cornbread mix, but I imagine there's dupes for the Jiffy cornbread mix online that you can totally Google. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees and get it good and cranking. Make sure it's at 350 degrees. And you're gonna pour this into your casserole dish. Again, you can use any casserole dish you want. If you use something that's wider and flatter, you'll get more crispy bits. If you use something like this that has higher walls and is smaller, it'll get more of like a casserole-y type vibe. So that's totally personal preference. If you want it to turn out a little more cornbread and a little less casserole, then I would do it in a shallower, bigger dish than this. but this is a dish that I usually use at the holidays. This is going in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour. After an hour, it comes out of the oven just like all brown and delicious and pulled away from the edges. But I warn you, you're gonna need to let it cool for a second because it's gonna be really freaking hot. So we're not gonna taste it until we let it cool for a few minutes and like firm up, okay? You could top it with like a little sour cream or like dress it up a little if you want to, but it's like, it's not, oh my God, look at the steam coming off. It's not cornbread, it's corn casserole. So it's got like a soft casserole-y, souffle, fluffy pudding type vibe. It's really hot. Slightly sweet, like, cause it's corn, right? But it has a salty, like savory, like creamy, oh, not just the sweet corn element, right? Absolutely delicious, great for the holiday table, super easy. Reheat's great, like if you wanted to make it before and then warm it up.